Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Just Joking, episode 153. I'm your host, Kevin Dabrowski, joined as always by our fantastic Shuli team, production team. Who do we got on? We got Joe and Andy. You guys want to come to the head of the class, boys?
Sure.
There he is.
Why not?
Joe, you missed last week.
I did. I was traveling with the boss. Someone has to look after him.
Sure. You were the Shuli Whack Pack Wrangler for 1 week, which is nice to see the roles reversed.
It was a lot of fun.
We, I swear by the end of this series, which may not be too far away, I have sent over a video montage of me smashing Gino Visconti's abacuses that I would like played at least by the last episode under music. So we have some sort of actual intro and we don't keep hurting people's eyes with static Google searched image or screenshots of me from the first episode of the show.
It's a fantastic idea.
Yeah. Thank you, man. You know, look, I'm full of them. That's how I got on this network, you know? It's how many we're monetized, right? You blow someone and then you get a montage. And that's how it happens. If you guys are exactly. That's how you got hired, buddy. If you guys are watching live right now, check out previous episodes of Just Joking on my YouTube channel. We've got clips from all your podcasting faves. We've had a fantastic catalog of guests over the 3 years that you can check out, regardless of all the guests that don't show up to this version of the show. If you are listening,
it does seem to happen quite often, by the way.
It happens. I'm going to honestly just have my Zenhauser just tweeted something about the show incoming. I'm going to have my messages on Friday just forwarded to your phone.
We couldn't even get Shuli to show up. See? Even Shuli didn't show up.
I love that he's not here for this. Is that just a steady cam that you have in his house 24/7 that if you need to pull him into a show?
It's always live, yeah.
If you are listening to this show, you can check us out live every Friday on the ShuliNetwork.com, which is Shuli's YouTube page. We've got a slew of great shows, great arrangements on the network. There's a live chat, which is fun. You can take part. You can chat along. You can ask your favorite comics questions. There's one of them right there. How did you get that beard up top and not down below is what I would ask on a super chat. Besides that, you can also join in on the riffs because what we do is we have some headlines. We run through them. No interviews, no arguments, just jokes. We try to keep it low drama. Fun is what we try to do. This show and every other show is brought to you by SilkCityHotSauce.com. Check them out. Look at that, huh? Look at that beautiful little baby buffalo in the back with a Gino Visconti doll saying, "This guy gets it." That's my daughter pulling the string. I'm feverishly working in the kitchen because my wife supports me. And that's me on the cover. It's a Just Joking, very serious buffalo sauce. It's got a quote from
That's supposed to be you?
That is 100% me. A graphic artist drew that.
Okay.
I didn't know Andy at the time. You can't be mad at me. Please, actually. Let's do a retired version of this bottle. If you want, just do it where the baby is 2.5 feeding herself. Gino's now dead on the floor, and then I've got a kitchen knife to my throat. We could just do that. Speaking of kitchen knives to my throat, let's bring in the head of the network here for a big announcement that we've planned for today.
By the way, I love that artwork. Very good. Hi, Kev. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, buddy. If you're listening now, you know him, you love him. You from the Shuli show, the BS show, the Uncle Rico show, the Miserable Men show, bailing out that show, bailing out every other show on the network that struggles with views. Shuli Egar is on the show again. Thanks for being on, buddy.
Hi, thanks for having me. I've always wanted to get booked on here, so I'm very happy that it finally came through. I had to hire the guy to get on his goddamn show. Some friend of yours.
100%. Yeah, I think this you might be fourth or fifth now in terms of multiple appearances. So you're climbing, bud. Keep going.
Hey, listen, I've been a supporter of you and your show long before the Shuli Network was even a gleam in my eye.
I got to tell you, it's been a gleam in my pants the entire time.
I love how people are. They're like, it's not a network, it's a YouTube channel. Yeah, I get it. That's the fucking dumb joke of it.
What does the word network mean to you?
It means 20 different shows on one YouTube channel. I think
I just don't understand how you can't understand when you have one YouTube channel and you're a struggling comic as am I, and of course I'm talking about myself. Why would I talk about you when I still haven't gotten paid this month? And then you add
the turnout at the Sparrow was not great. I had a blast. I loved it, but
Sure.
it would have been great. But like, I'm not saying it wasn't a lot of people. I'm just saying if we were on a ship and there was one lifeboat, everyone would survive. That's all I'm saying.
But that's how you keep your friends close, is you just invite them to your show.
Yeah, this is why you end up making artwork with a knife to your throat.
100%. Yeah, I mean, who needs a kid when you can sell them for rent money, That's why you moved to Alabama, really, because that's a big kidnapping market. It's not for lower rent.
Listen, tax returns are the reason I didn't pull out. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, cha-ching. Let's make some money, honey.
Fair enough. I named my new kid New Album Dombrowski.
By the way, Carlos is right. We have a raffle coming up for Stress Factory tickets.
What a great segue for us, because we were supposed to have Vinnie Brand on this week. This is okay. So let's just get into this. This is officially, as of now, the beginning of the end of the Just Joking podcast. Now, before
what?
Actually, God, what a sell!
Oh my God! I did not. I'm out of here.
How are you not mugging for theaters every Friday and Saturday? This is the officially the countdown. This is the final countdown of the show. Couple thoughts that I have here before you rejoice. If you are watching from any other show and and think that you've won whatever you want to say. I don't know what Steel Toe or Chad, I don't know what drama is going back for. Whoever won, whoever didn't win, whoever wants to give someone a win, fine. I am ending the show for several reasons. One, because the fans of the network are canceling me. And two, no, it's the show ran its course. Am I frozen, or is just Shuli not reacting?
I'm listening to you. The show ran its course. I'm listening. I'm letting you talk.
Yeah, sure. The show the show's run its course.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is great. Yeah. I'm not. I don't have your text ready to go and screenshot from Joe's computer.
No.
Chris Baldessano, $2 paying Kevin's salary. Buddy, let me tell you something. My wife ups it to $5.
I was going to say, when did you get a raise? What is this guy talking about? $2.
I just want you to know $1.75 is going to Shuli for that comment. So you better up those super chats. Ryan Sharman, nice of Bob to allow this. So here's this is a great segue here as well. You guys are crushing it right now. I've run the show for about 3 years. We've had an amazing catalog of comics. We seriously have everyone from Bobby Kelly, Bobby Collins, Norman, Ari, Stanhope, Jamie Kennedy, Adam Ferrara, Jesse Curson, A-list celebrities, and then, also Shuli. And it's been great. It was a fun run. It was a great show where comics could just be comics and riff on stories, low drama, just having fun, and basically showing what comics do off stage. I ended the show around December. I was getting tired of it. And then Shuli and I had gotten to talking, and he had said that he was starting a network and it'd be a fun thing to do a show on his network. So I decided to bring back the show and do it live, thinking it'd be fun to have some super chats come in, people riffing, people asking comics questions. We're a good show with a good catalog. Unfortunately, live makes it substantially harder to book the guests that we want for the show. And as you've heard, if you were in on any production meeting on this call in the last 3 weeks, the scramble 3 weeks in a row of Eleanor Kerrigan not being able to, we ended up getting Carlos Mencia because someone else called out, and then Vinnie Brand was supposed to be on this week, and I got an email at 1:20 after already sending him the link. Shit, I ended up having to go to Ann Arbor at the very last minute. Are you live or taping? Can I get you to delay or get a quick replacement to do next week? I don't want to screw you up. It's my daughter's B-day, and I had to come to R, and that's where the sentence stops. So I'm assuming the plane crashed.
Well, here's my it's like if there was a sports book and it was taking bets on Kevin Guest canceling last minute, that bet would be even money every time. There are no odds. It's
100%.
It's amazing the track record you have of guests going, I can't. Dog ate my wife. Gotta go. Whatever.
All friends of mine, by the way. Yeah. Dave Landau, who's now canceled on us multiple times, will be on May 5th. He's written it in blood. He made his announcement on another show. Joe, do you want to come in for this one?
Yeah.
I can see why you pay them so much. We were supposed to have Landau in several times, and then Delay saying he was close to a deal, and he wanted to wait because it would be worth our while. Correct?
That is exactly what I was told.
Yes, and then we waited our while, and then he broke it on Michael Malice's podcast yesterday that he's got his own show coming out on the Blaze, which sent the internet ablaze and us smoldering.
Well, he also, I saw maybe that he took some shots at Crowder. Do you know what that's about?
Yeah, I saw so today. His Landau's agent went behind his back and started repping Crowder at the same time. And I believe they call that a conflict of interest.
And Shuli would know about conflicts of interest.
Hello.
So Dave did not sign an NDA with his new contract, and Michael Malice, with the job well done, camping exactly where he should camp in that interview, allowing some details to come out about how unhappy Dave was and the experience of Louder with Crowder. Very good listen. Highly recommend it. Way better than any show we've done here.
How fortunate for Michael Malice.
Yeah, 100%. We could have gotten views and saved the show, but no, Shuli's just going to take me out back of the Red Roof Inn I'm at and just shoot me in the street like a dog.
Hey, Kevin, turns out live scares comedians. I didn't know that.
Eric from SC, happy 420. Great shows. It's 421, baby. That's how high you are right now, Eric.
Every day, 420 on the Shuli Network, buddy.
100%. So
now that Landau's broken the big news and made all the news that he's going to make, now he's ready to come on Just Show.
Now he's ready to tell his real side of the story, which will be the watered down version we've all already heard.
You should change the name of the show to Sloppy Seconds.
Let me tell you something. It's not far from that. So that's what's been going on. I've been toying with ending the show for a while now, just because like it's fun live. It's fun live. But the other aspect is the landscape of the podcasting scene right now. For me is it's overwhelming mentally. I've documented on this show, Shuli's show, the BS show, Gino Bisconti's show, and probably other shows that you've seen clips of me on, that I don't want to be involved with any of the drama. There seems to be continuing storylines going. I like to work with everyone, and it seems that whatever show I'm on has a problem with another show, and when I do that, I get pulled into that sort of drama. Look, I just want to say for the record, I've never disparaged. I've never gone out of my way to shit on any other comic in the scene. I think there's plenty to eat. I think there's plenty of room for everyone. But I get it, man. Drama sells, sex sells. I'm not an idiot. You may think it, and it may be true, but I don't think I am.
While it does sell now, and we're all guilty of getting caught up in the shit, earlier this week, even yesterday, with Chad, stream sniping Kevin and it's like I'm laying there last night before bed and I'm going, why am I getting involved in all this shit? Like I should know better,
Right.
I never had an issue with Kevin. I've always supported Kevin, even before Bob started working with him. I was never against him. And then once Bob started working with him, I wanted to support him even more. I offered our production team to his show to help him in any way, shape, or form. I've given advice through Bob to him on certain things to generate a little bit more income, show wise. Not that he needs my help. He's doing fine, but just being a nice guy about it and trying to help out a friend. And here you are, you get caught up in this shit where now I'm shit talking him, he's shit talking me. And for what? At the end of the day, doesn't need to be like this. We can all eat at the same table, but you get that beaten into your head that, chaos and fighting and drama sells. And it does, but it also takes a toll on people. It screws up relationships and friendships. And, at the end of the day, is it really worth it? For me, I'm speaking for me. It's not, I'm done taking shots. I'm done talking shit. Like, if that's the way people want to do their thing, that's fine. I learned one thing from Howard, and that is if you don't give it air, it will die. And so my thing is I have to be better at not giving this shit air. He was upset at the way I handled the Calta situation. Maybe I could have handled it better, but I also was in a position where I didn't know what the hell I was supposed to do when all this stuff was going down. So I think at the end of the day, everybody gets pissy. Everybody gets upset. It's just where you go with that shit once you get upset, and I don't, I lived that way for so many years on the Stern Show, battling people on message boards, battling fans, on social media. It's like, I'm done with it. I don't
Well,
want
that's so funny because I've texted you probably 2 or 3 times, even before the network, where look, if I'm on one show or if I'm friends with someone, I'm automatically against someone else, or I get pulled into this or I get pulled into that. And once again, I'm a stand-up comic. I've been doing it for 13 years in New York City. I don't care about this. This is supposed to be fun. This is not, as you can guess, this is not my living. I do not make money doing this, nor do I, this is not doing this show isn't going to affect my mortgage, which was the real decision of like, if I, Ryan Sharman, I think this is Bob's doing.
It's not. I talked to Bob. I just want to address this real quick. I talked to Bob when he brought this up to me that, Kevin and I are friends before the network. I know Kevin. I like Kevin. I don't work like this. Like, I'm not going to, this ain't high school. If these guys want to be mad at people who are friends with people they don't like, that's their choice. I'm not gonna tell a guy you're not welcome here because you're friends with somebody that another grown man doesn't like. That's pussy. That's kid shit. All right. I have no time for that. I don't. And I texted you when you said, what's going on? I don't know. I haven't heard anything. And I said, listen, this is the situation, but it's not going to happen. I'm not getting rid of your show based on who you're friends with.
I'm getting rid of my show based on who I'm friends with.
And when we talked, that's when I heard from you that it's like, regardless of what Bob is saying, like, you're fucking done with it. Like, you're just
Yes. I've got no beef. I understand everything that's going on. And if you're listening to this show because you're a fan of the show before this network, we'll get to the actual show. I apologize. Skip about 15 minutes from now and we'll be done. Chris Baltasano said Kevin is unaware Shuli just signed a $200 million contract, but it all depended on Kevin getting live guest oopsies podcast life hashtag. Dave Landau.
I'm just gonna shave the rest of my head. They won't know Kevin's gone. That's all.
You just actually get a little sun, shave the head, take the glasses off so people can see the bags, and here we are. Is this an exit interview? This is 100% an exit interview. I addressed when I lost my temper on In Hot Water because I broke part of Gino's set. I lost my mind that I felt like I should address it because people were asking me what was going on with that. This is the same thing. Blinky Jedi 199, you are sit-down podcasters, not stand-up comics, which is fair. That's a great point.
I love
that.
Blinky.
Is a great fucking point. This is for fun. This is to do different shit. Hopefully sell more tickets to your shows,
Right.
which, by the way, there are available tonight. If you were in Utica, New York, I got a speeding ticket on the way up here, so I could use a couple of extra sales.
Yeah. Go to Kevin Brennan's website to see where Kevin Dombrowski's playing, guys. Tickets are available.
I'll give you a hint. It's Fat Cats Comedy Club at kevinbrennan.com. But anyway, I was cooked with the show before. I was the live element added some extra pressure that, I hated the booking part of this show. I wanted to keep the good guests going for the network, get some extra eyes on, keep the catalog in tune. And it was fun. You could bring in Zen Joe. It's all good. So that's kind of where we're at.
Hey.
Welcome to Just Joking with Anthony Zenhauser.
Hey, we make it quick here. Get the graphic up, guys. We made it nice ago. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you took off your hat, we could just call a new show Storming the Capitol.
Oh, really? What? Because guys with bald heads are fucking Nazis? Is that what you're saying, bro?
Yeah.
What are you saying, bro? You want me to stomp your head in, bro? Is that what you're trying to say?
I listen to some Def Leppard.
I'm gonna put on my Doc Martens and take umbrage with what you just said.
Hey, man, I'm just waiting for the first joke to pop up on this show. I don't know.
You and the rest of the
I don't know
chat.
what's happening. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a good idea. I'm fully on board with this, Kevin. I mean, time to say goodnight. It's time to things were. I mean, you did it for 15 years. It's time to fucking close it up.
I'm Terry Schiavo on this network.
There we go. That's right. Let's do it. Let's talk about the real problem, people. Okay, and that's the Zion Nation. All right.
I brought Zen on to this episode too because him and I had a talk about this at the what club was it? The Laugh It Up in Poughkeepsie.
Laugh It Up, Poughkeepsie, baby. Yeah.
We've got similar situations where being friends with people get both of us pulled into nonsense and bullshit drama, and we're just two people that try to stay out of it and just fucking make jokes regardless of whether you laugh at them or not. That's what the agenda is. So I was thinking of ending the show. I was getting real tired of it, and then all the drama seemed to ramp back up. I get pulled back into it aggressively. And look, there's two ways to do. You fight back and you're inside of all of it, which is, Shuli saying this week he got pulled in and decided he doesn't want to do that anymore. Or you just you take a break, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm sparing
can I give you some advice? Can I give you a little bit of advice? And this is honest.
I hope it's not exercise. Go ahead.
What you really do is work on your traps. You know what I mean? Like, right. It's all about conditioning. It's all about being disciplined. It's all about getting a lot of sleep.
A lot of crunches, bro.
A lot of crunches. Yeah, a lot of crunches when you're eating. Crunch.
Try a crunch. Yeah, crunch berries is a good one. Or
try to get the bag with just the marshmallows in it and none of that. None
Dark
of the carbs.
Chocolate crunch.
Just get the Lucky Charms.
Carlos Danger, Kev, if you need to file a hostile workplace complaint, you can start with Jersey's Department of Human Services. Don't let Shuli see this.
How about I release your email, Carlos, where you're like, get rid of that bald fuck and get me in there? How about I release that?
Yeah.
Well, first I got to make it up, and then I'll release it.
Don't mistake Shuli's leniency for weakness. All right,
Sure.
He's not a weak dude. He lets a lot of shit slide. He's got a lot of problems. He's a fucking pothead. He doesn't know what he's saying half the time. But don't think you just can sleep on Shuli. Okay, he's still conniving. He's still from that race of just schemers. He knows what's happening. He knows what's gonna. He's just waiting for the big shoe to drop.
Is this your advice?
No.
Okay.
That was just a thought on me. Go ahead.
That's just a side note. My advice to you is that make your own drama here. We're having fun. There's a whole nother universe that you can escape to with this network. We have Ray. He's a fucking moron. It's fun to make fun of him. We have Pat Dixon's here. We have me. We have Shuli. We got Bob. If you keep it in the bubble, we're all gonna have fun. Look at that douchebag. Look, he's so lovable though. You just want to hug him. Yeah. You want to hug him and you want to be like, you dumb, big old dumb monkey.
That's what I look like mid-shave, by the way. I take pictures of every stage.
Looks like Chad's face when he got punched. That whole. No, I'm just saying, like, I mean, all this stuff is meta. You know what I mean? All this arguing, all this bullshit. It's all nonsense. It doesn't really exist. The only physical problem that really occurred was when Gino and Pat got into a fight. Right. It's the only real physical, occurrence that happened. Everything else is just bullshit, dude.
I wouldn't even have a problem if it was just physical. It would make sense to me. I flat out just don't want to be around it anymore.
You can't though,
and I need a break from it because it's like
it's not. If it's not here, it's going to be something else. I mean, you have to exist in show business, so you're going to find it everywhere.
Do I?
Go. Yeah, you do.
No, I'm just gonna take a break from podcast. I'm just gonna fucking clear my head. It's just because look, I don't want to seem like this victim or like this fucking runaway person. It's just like I'm just taking myself out of the conversation because I've got nothing to do with it. It's not like I have a side. I'm not on anyone's side. It's everywhere I go. It's like, oh, this person's with this and this and this and this, and it's like, dude, I don't know. Fucking, I just don't have it in me.
Side though. I mean, you have a side. You have friends that are in the drama. I mean, you have to understand. I'm on Pat's side. You know what I mean?
Sure, but I'm not. Yeah, but I'm not on Gino's side. Gino's my friend. Right. I disagree with everything that everyone's doing, and I told him that. I called him the other night. I was like, dude, I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna keep doing the show because it's all just this continuing thing. So I'm just gonna take a break from everything. I'm still gonna go back on a show, like at some point. I'm still gonna do podcast at some point. Maybe I'll come back with some show on this network because this is a fun place. But
this is a warm network, man. This is like a warm hug. Just stop fighting it and just just go into our bosom and just feel warm and safe here. You know what I mean? Like
Anthony's always hot. I think it has something to do with the physical makeup. But this guy brings up a good point. The whole chat thing was probably well lasted, but it's become exhausting. The whole thing, and this is what I wanted to say where Kevin's at. Like, you're making sense, Anthony, and I agree with you. But also when somebody reaches a point where they're like, I'm fucking done with this, right? They're just done with it. And they need, sometimes a dude just needs to roam the earth for a little while. You know what I mean?
That's what it is. It's like, look, this show is a fun show to do. It's good when everything works, but it exists on a network that continues storylines and characters, and it's got a whole universe. And this thing stands off on its own, which is, Jules, you and I talked about it the other day. You were like, I like your show because it exists on its own separate little thing. I just don't think it's suited for an environment to thrive in like that.
I was talking to somebody about this yesterday, and we started doing this block party tour on the Stern Show. It was me, Ronnie, Scott the engineer, and we had some comics, and this thing took off. Like we were selling out all over the country for one of the biggest train wreck shows you've ever seen, right? And then Howard brings in new management. And all of a sudden, new management gets in his ear and they go, listen, this show is a representation of you. It's also, a liability. Something should happen. It's going to be your name, blah, blah, blah. And so we had just did a gig in Boston, sold close to 900 tickets, I think. Sold out.
5,000 seater.
No, it's sold out. It was packed. And then we get back to work Monday, and I think by Tuesday or Wednesday, he asked to meet with me and Ronnie, and he sat us down and he said, listen, I'm not going to tell you guys to stop doing this show. You guys can continue doing this show, but you got to understand, I can't play anything. I can't plug anything. I can't talk about it. And he said it's a liability, blah, 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 whatever he said. So I'm like, we just sold 900 tickets. We don't need you to talk. Meanwhile, we were doing, every Monday we'd come back from a gig. We were in studio for an hour recapping all the hijinks and he loved the content then. But then all of a sudden people get in his ear and now it's a liability. He can't have it. So he says, continue doing what you do. I just can't talk about it. And we're like, sure, no problem. We got social media. People are in. Next month we did a show.
Crowder.
Yeah. So the next month we do a show in, I think it was Buffalo. And we sold 90 tickets based on him completely not talking about this anymore. And that is the oxygen of this drama, is addressing it, which is why I got frustrated with myself for getting into it, because I've been there, I've done it, I know better. But you get caught up in this shit,
So what Shuli's saying is, if you quit the network, you're not going to sell any tickets. That's what he's saying, pretty much. He's not going to put his blessing on it.
If I stay,
hold on.
This is exactly what I'm talking about right here.
Right.
Gino Bisconti, $20. Just so Zenhauser can see what a $20 super chat looks like. This is what I'm talking about. This is
Gino.
Spelled my name.
It doesn't matter where I go.
He spelled my name wrong too. Is he drunk?
But what time is it? Yeah,
probably.
By the way, Gino, just so you know, Anthony, when I'm on the East Coast or a lot of places, he's my opener, and he's seen 20s at least twice. Thank you.
I open my mouth like that. So put it in my mouth, Shuli. Can I do 5 minutes on your show?
You say bicentennial coins is what I paid.
So you should you have to be Gino's friend, because Gino doesn't have a lot of friends anymore. That's the problem.
Look, I'm always going to have Gino's back.
He pushes people away with his attitude and his nonsense.
No one speaks Gino better than me. He was in my wedding. I nursed him back to health at my own teat when Pat had broken his jaw. And Gino got elective surgery.
You sure Pat did that?
I am.
It might have been a lot of stuff going on that day.
I picked up something that I thought was a USB drive from Sullivan's, but it could have been just a deep fake. I have no idea what happened.
Right. Well, he could have, he could have slipped and fell in the guy's bathroom, given a blowjob. I don't know. You don't know what's happening with this guy.
The real takeaway is that Zen and I are pretty much the Romeo and Juliet of these families.
Star-crossed lovers, baby. Two houses divided.
Except both houses want us to kill ourselves. It's not going to be tragic when the two of us
Pat
do
does
it.
hate you very much. I'm never going to have Dombrowski. He's not even funny. I'm not even going to put that fucking guy on the show. Fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck him.
I did get a very nice DM from him when Gino was recovering in my house, though.
Good.
Yeah. But look, that's the thing, is like there's no getting away from it, and I need to get away from it because I don't have anything to do with it, and I don't want to contribute to it. And I'm not going to fight full-grown men on Twitter. I'm not going to do that. This isn't like we're out in public and people are talking shit, and then man to man, you talk to each other. It's not like that. And I'm not. I fucking hate doing this. I hate having to like look at all this shit and deal with this, and I mute it, and I fucking. And then you put your phone down and you're like, none of this is fucking real. This isn't real life at all. And then
this isn't what you signed up for. You just want to be a comedian.
dude, this is just for fucking fun. And you know what? It's just not fun.
You know what? And so did people that we know. I think you think Kevin Brennan, you thought his career was going to be, the twilight of his career was going to be screaming at people screen sharing his show. You know what I mean? Like, he wanted to be. He thought he was going to have he thought he was going to achieve the the Mark Twain Award. Probably. I don't know. I don't know where all these people's heads go. I didn't. I thought I was going to be on SNL. I thought that's when I started doing comedy. I'm like, that's my dream. I just want to be a fucking funny guy on a show and do comedy and
was
have
it the Horatio Sands? Was it the Horatio Sands era when you saw someone that looked
No,
like
it was the Chris Farley really was an inspiration to me, It's just I just
when he died
followed
on
everything,
an overdose.
his mantra. Well, overdose on what?
It's hard when you have when you have a finish line in mind, right? Like an SNL
Yes.
or and like in Anthony's case, SNL. And then you cross that finish line and you realize SNL is just a diner that's open all night.
Yeah, of course.
And that's where you're at in life. And that's not fun. That's not a good, but it's something we all have to go through. I think, look, at the end of the day, if a break is what you need, then take it,
Yeah.
If it'll help you the moment you realize the podcast life sucks. So yeah,
my end goal was Greg Giraldo, and I'm hoping it happens in this hotel room tonight.
It could happen. If you really try hard enough, anything can happen. You're going to be selling cars in a year, Kevin. I feel like Mr. Clark can lean on me. You'll be dead in a year. You'll be dead in a year, boy. Don't quit.
Go out in a blaze of David Carradine glory. You understand? Do that.
I'm sorry. Just write a letter to your wife. I'm sorry. That's what it says. And then you just end it all.
Poor Kevin. I got a fax or probably. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna make a joke that honestly, life insurance would be the most income I provided to this family.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, listen, it's better than I can do. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't even pay my child support. Do you know what I mean? I hate my daughter. She's horrible.
Why don't we just do this? You know what? I've changed my mind. I'm not leaving. Let's just all make the jokes that everyone makes about us.
Yeah,
and we'll just be those characters.
It's fun time. It's fun times. It really is. Like it's all meta, dude.
It's 8 Mile. You got to take the bullets out of the gun and hand it back. You got to, that's why every show I'm like, I'm a big money grubbing Jew. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
I win. I beat you to it. I said it.
But where's the character?
No, I didn't say I was making anything up. I was just announcing, letting people know.
Listen, it's all about it's all about what he's saying. Like when some guy on Twitter is bashing Shuli on a 15-page tweet and he has 9 followers, you're like, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. This is who is this?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Who of many faces are you wearing right now?
Oh, dude,
certain people.
I don't give a shit about that. I really don't care about that. What I care about is the continuing storyline on show to show where it's like, now you have to address this and that has to address this.
I don't on my show. And
I'll tell you why I agree with Kevin is because this is not the show. This is not, yes, I hate you. This is not the show. This going back and forth is not the shows we signed up to do. These are not the shows that we were broadcasting. So yeah, okay, look, as a man, as a whatever, you're being attacked. It's 100% your right and choice to fight back. But to continue doing it on a daily basis, now what you've done is you've given the power to that person for your show. Without them talking about you, then what do you got? You got a show where you're just sitting there going, because you were waiting to fight again today. And I listen, talk all the shit you want. You will never have power over me. You will never dictate what kind of show I'm going to do. If I want to fucking argue about something, I will. But if I want to do a comedy show and I want to do something funny and fuck around with Bichetti or whoever the fuck is on, we just had Pat Dixon on the other day on Miserable Men. It was great.
He killed it. It was great.
He's fantastic.
He knocked that shit out.
He did, and he's
low blow.
No. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to make it.
Dude, he broke the fucking channel, bro. One shot, he broke it. But no, my thing is like you give power to those people by now changing what you're doing based on what they're saying. Fuck them. Let them say it all they want.
I don't care. I don't care. Dude, when you called me and you were like, let's talk about Pottstown, there's a million comics, this and this, I didn't even think I was on the show. I texted Joe when I got tagged in the flyer because I was booked that weekend already. And I was like, am I on the show? Because I haven't heard anything. And I don't care if I am or not.
But you knew you weren't on the show because, number one, you're not Ray DeVito. There's no confusion there.
I can't even pronounce that name. $10. I appreciate you and all the humor. I appreciate you, Stokely, and I wish I could say whatever Ukrainian Russian name that follows that.
That's a troll. Andy, block him.
Oh, yeah. Anyone who appreciates Kevin blocked immediately.
$10 though, huh? Am I right?
That's it, baby.
Every time you see something over $10, you see kind of Shuli like licks his lips a little bit.
I'm actually going to announce the show's ending every show from now on.
Oh my God! Be the Rolling Stones or the Shuli.
Don't worry about it. Just fucking do what you gotta do. All right, just fucking play the. Just fucking do what you have to do. You gotta take a year off, Kevin. Take a year off.
Have you thought about this? Going to our Telemundo network.
Shuli Telemundo.
Blinking.
I feel
Shuli
like it's funny because
yeah, my God,
Shuli,
someone invite Ray and fire him.
Shuli was talking about how in Israel the Jews have like the autistic division, right? Like the
in the military,
that raised the autistic division of the Shuli network.
He's the general. He's the general of the autistic division.
Yeah.
But that's so that's kind of where my head's at, where it's like Shuli said, it's like, look, dude, this is just a riffing show about news. I do think it's funny. I think the guests are funny. But I personally respect everyone in their respective shows. You guys do this for a living. I have an actual responsible job. It's way different to do this to make a living.
Whoa. We may make it look easy, Chris, but this is a whole other thing. You know, we're swans over here, but our feet are fucking going like this. All right. This is a whole process.
Hola, give me 1 second. Hola, mi amigos, mi amigas. Buenos tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Welcome, El Shuli Network. Go ahead. I just had to do a quick station ID. Go ahead.
That's fair. That's fair. Every time someone says a joke, are you just going to scream goal?
Oh, I love that. I got I don't have vuvuzelas, but I got.
But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with the show. I was grading on it anyway, and then when all this shit ramped back up this week and the last week, I was like, I just need a fucking break from all this. I need a break from all of the sides just to decompress. And look, again, I don't care. Talk about it. Whoever gives a fuck. But I just don't want to be involved in having to keep going back and forth and people ask questions and what do you think of this? What do you think of that? I don't give a fuck. This doesn't pay my bills. So I don't care to participate in this. And that's kind of where I'm at. So I have a month left of shows that I've already booked. Sorry, next week is the last show. So get all of your super chats out next week, just in case we don't have a show the following week. And then the week after that. Perry's Diploma 199. Watching y'all and Perry at the same time. Skull. Chris Baldessano, $5. Is this the Hair Club for Men podcast? Where is Cy Sperling? This is making me pay for Kevin's speeding ticket. That's $12 so far for Kev. I tend to Shuli. That's true. Shuli's actually my lawyer for the speeding ticket up in Utica that I just got. He's double dipping on this.
What
he pays your ticket?
Yeah, I'm like, what is speed, Your Honor? Really? When we think about it.
I did not expect Zen to come on and talk me out of leaving. If I should have just had Levy on, and it would have been Shuli and Levy conducting an exit interview for me. No, I'm hanging around for another month. We have all the bookings.
I think it's silly that you're doing that. I think you should just. I mean, it's effortless to podcast. I mean, it really is the easiest fucking thing to do.
Right.
You can stay out of the drama.
So now, Zen, you're gonna quit if he quits? My God, what is
not at all? No, are you firing me?
No, not yet. At least Julie has bulletproof, and Bob has no proof.
See, this is the humor we all signed up for.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Again, it's like you have to understand that you don't have to pay attention to it. You really don't. I don't do it on my show. We don't do anything about any drama on the show, and people tend to love it. It's starting to grow on them. They were a little weird at it at first because they thought it was all going to be a part of the whole drama thing,
which is what we're going through right here.
just if just let them get acclimated to your show. Do you know what I mean? And they'll start really watching. I mean, it's a shame because you're a good comedian. You're a really funny dude. Don't let these
Thank
people
you.
break you down like that. Oh, you too, Shirley.
Oh, sorry. But
I was
this,
on.
I just want to bring this up, because everybody keeps saying hate equals views. And it does right now. But here's the other thing hate equals, and that is eventually that hate is going to turn on you. It's the environment you create. It's the people that are in it. And the minute you stop hating something, they're going to hate you because you're not doing what they want. And it's a lose-lose. And look at it, right? Howard, O&A. All these guys had these fucking like radicals, like extremists, fans that would do anything for this show. And when those shows were in their extremist heyday, right? When Howard's going and doing funerals and talking about fucking people's dad's skull because he's #1 now in Chicago and all this shit. Now it bred this entire group of people. And the minute Howard changes lanes or the minute O&A break up, well, now where do all these people go with that hate? Right to the source, right to the leader. So I think while it gets you views and it gets you whatever, I think it's got a shelf life, and eventually it just fucking eats you up, man. It just comes at you. And you're like, what are all these people attacking me? I thought they were my fans. They're fans of anger. They're fans of fucking chaos. And that's what they want. So,
well, sure. And look, right now, while that's that, I got to take a step back because it's the only way. I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to go into it. I'm not on anyone's side. And maybe I give this a shot. Maybe I say, look, I'm not on anyone's side. I don't care about anything in this. None of this actually matters to me. I don't care if I'm on Pottstown. I don't care about anything besides entertaining people, whether I do it or not for you. That's your preference, but that's what I signed up for. That's my job. That's what I make a living doing. And when this takes,
it's not, I'm not saying that as if it's Howard's fault. I'm just saying, don't you think he sat there one day and went, why are they all attacking me?
Right.
There's I know this for a fact. He wants the same caliber of guests Jimmy Kimmel gets. But guess what? They're not coming on your show. It has nothing to do with viewers or numbers. They're not coming on the show because of the past, because of the history, because of what you said about them, what you would let your audience on and say about them. That is the #1 reason why they're not coming on. It's because of those hate years.
Yeah,
100%.
Right.
You are not Howard. He changed radio. Not saying I am Howard. He did change radio. I've said that many times. You guys hear his name and you assume I'm comparing myself to him. I'm trying to give you an explanation of what that environment breeds and what comes out of it. That's all I'm saying.
It's funny. I heard Anthony's explanation of the whole Burr confrontation at the cellar, and how he was saying that him and Opie raised shitty kids and they were not good parents. And so when all the fans attacked Burr and Burr's wife, that's why Burr's mad at Anthony. And then it went back and forth to this whole thing. It was like a whole breakdown of that. It's just funny to think about it like that, where he's like, look, we created this. Even you listen to Baba Booey would talk about, on the wrap-up show countless times, he would talk about how he doesn't go on Twitter because his own fans are horrible people. And I'm not at all blaming fans of any of this. I'm blaming the environment that it is for me. I don't want to be a part of it anymore. So that's really where my head's at. Jimmy 550. I just came back. What happened? Did Kevin quit Whiskey Wednesdays? Gino wins. You predicted that too. He's a winner. Midnights at LOL. See, now this is mixed because it seems like you might be on everyone's side in one.
When I'll admit Gino's winning when he starts his stream and his mic is connected the first time. That's when I will say Gino. Carlos Danger, but we're here because we collectively hated Stuttering John off the internet. listen, I did that show because of how much I hated John, but realized right away the hate isn't going to sell the show. The funny is going to sell the show. And that's why we do it the way we do it. None of us hate the guy. I don't wish bad things for him or his family. I would love for him to be back on the air. I'd love for him to be doing his thing. But that show was about fighting back for years. For years, this fucking guy went after me, and I never did a thing to him. And that was it. It was a personal connection to John, and it's three comics making his idiocy funny. You know, that's different than going on and screaming about Kevin and that he fucking sucks and that, you know, what I do off mic. Doing all that is different from what we do with Rico, I think. Maybe
I think a lot. I think also the chat here, as well as the chat on MLC and the chat, even with Compound, you know, everyone likes to hang out and hang out be with each other. I think we're thinking way too much of what we're doing for them. I think a lot of people get into the chat because they like to. It's like a community that they like to hang out with each other, and it makes them happy because it's like a family. You get to hang out, you get to choose and hang out with. I know a lot of people who are in the chats. They get there like a half an hour before the show starts, you know, and they're just talking to each other. Hey, it's great to see you, blah blah blah. And when they break balls, it's not personal. I don't think it's any of it is personal.
Yeah.
The chats
and don't mistake.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Right. Don't mistake any of that for what I'm saying. I don't want to be a part of any of these shows.
No.
Anymore.
But what I'm saying is that the people who come in here, it's not a hate thing per se.
Right.
It's their you know, they're backseat comedy enthusiasts. They like to
ball. They want to play ball.
They want to play ball. They want to like write funny chats. So people,
I totally get that.
They make us laugh. They want to do that. They get off on being part of the show, and that's what Shuli provides, and that's what MLC provides, and Chad and all that. Again, the fighting, Kevin. You know, who's really fighting with who? Is me and Gino? Are me and Gino really fighting? I mean, are you know what I'm saying? Like he's coming in and he's breaking my balls. But you know, maybe we don't like each other, but it doesn't mean that you know, we can't be civil to each other. He knows I'm not going to ever hurt him physically,
right?
You know what I mean? And he can't because, you know, he's drunk and he'll fall over himself.
Well, he's very tactical too, so you know.
Gravity helps. You know,
well, sure. Look, here's the thing, and this is context for people that are listening that aren't aware of the whole podcast scene. It's just quite frankly, it's the MLC versus Compound world that I've seen to be pulled into by way of being a guest of my friend's show on Wednesdays. That's really what this is about. And then it gets thrown into everything, and then it spills into everything. Rico is two comics and a lousy Mike Morse. Just send that whole super chat to Mike. Poor Mike. It's the continuing storyline that I have to get out of to not be a part of. That's what it is. We'll just call it what it is. I don't want to be a part of that anymore because I don't care about what they're fighting about. I have nothing to do with it. I go on a show just to make jokes and make people laugh. And we have a fun time when I'm on the show. But then it gets pulled into all this shit you have to deal with where it's like, this guy's talking about you. This guy said you did this and this and this. It's like, dude, I don't want to have, like, this isn't, where's Vinnie Brand? Somewhere.
We're 54 minutes into the goddamn show. I think it's pretty safe to assume Vinnie isn't on today. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Vinnie is probably. What was the flight that went down headed to PA? That's probably where Vinnie is right now.
In the field. Vinnie, let's roll and let me do my phone booth bit real quick.
Yeah. He's gonna be the first guy they eat.
Yeah, Vinnie's on flight 94. But that's the deal. Is I don't want to be a part of that storyline, and it seems like the only way to do that is just to take a break. And I just need to mentally not be a part of that. I don't want to be in that world. And I'm just fucking tired. JG's Lounge, I'm a busy man. The network is me hanging out between my crazy schedule. Appreciate these shows. And that's what I love. That's what I want. That's what I want all this to be about. But when all of that fucking nonsense that I get pulled into spills over into this, it's like, dude, The show is hard enough with Vinnie Brand no showing. I don't need, and then I have to, I got to scramble last minute because we're live now. We don't record. And then you got to fucking deal with all that shit. It's like, man, I didn't want to do this show as is. And now that there's all these storylines coming into a show that's got nothing to do with anything except comics busting each other's balls and reading news stories, that's when I go, I got to just fucking stop doing this for a while because I fucking, it's affecting me. Richard Kish.
Read that because he's going to be dead soon. Go ahead.
These podcasts are like sitting at a bar with all your funny friends and goofing on each other. The chatters want to be a part of that 100%.
Yeah, and we want you to be a part of it. I've met some of the funniest fucking people in that chat.
Minus Gino Bisconti.
Yeah, they're just killers. Every time they throw out a line, it's a fucking home run. And I love that. I love that people watching are making us laugh. It's fucking a blast.
Yes.
Hold on. Sorry. Okay. I didn't know you just got on. I was just letting you know.
You really hurt you. Ichi's.
I went 0 to 100.
You hurt my feeling.
That's my favorite part of all of this is when someone does something and you go, Jesus fucking Christ. I go, Jesus Christ. Like, I'm just talking to you. And you're like, well, I can't hear how you're saying it on Twitter when you say you wish my wife would leave me. I can't hear that. The Compound versus MLC entire thing is really due to baby bullshit. Sorry. The unfair thing is those like Kevin, Bob, who get dragged into a tornado of shit they had zero to do with, but have to deal with it. I agree.
I think at the end of the day, a lot of the people involved in it got dragged into it.
Oh, sure.
It's a carpet bombing. It's not, and that's the thing. If we're going real drama, like if we're talking real drama, and you got a problem with somebody, I don't go to the circle of people around that person. I go right to the fucking source, and that's how you got to handle it.
That's true.
I mean,
that's true. You don't want to Ray DeVito the situation.
Why? What happened there? Sorry.
No, you don't watch the network. That's another reason why you shouldn't be here.
I finally sold him. Haven't seen one of your shows. He's like, get the fuck out.
I don't watch you. I don't watch the other shows.
Yeah, that was fun, right? I
was hanging out with Mark Norman the other day, and we were just laughing. At the stand. I get up at the stand, and
I think I found one of those digital download cards near the outside of the stand the other day. I was closing the 5:00 show.
Yeah, did it have cocaine residue still on it from whoever used it to cut up the lines?
It did. Did. It also had Anthony and Burr's fingerprints from the Patrice O'Neill benefit after party.
This is true. Kevin hurt himself breaking Gino's abacus. His wife told him knock it off and retire.
See, that's funny. That's good stuff.
See, I love that. Okay, let it be known. I love the ball busting. That's why I've spent most of my career on Twitter going back and forth. I love the ball breaking. It's the
what's the real problem? What's the real problem, Kevin?
Is when all the other shit spills in, and it's like, how do you feel about Brennan? How do you feel like, Levy tweeting that he can't wait to see me on Gino's show this week because Gino called him a sidekick on Brennan.
Radio?
All of that, I don't care about, and I don't want to be a part of. I don't want to be mentioned within all of it. And so I'll make a call and I'll try to talk something out. And then, the people don't answer and it won't get resolved. And then you're stuck to going, well, now I have to feel like now I need to feel like I have to address it on this show. And it pulls away from that. And then your show is that. And that's the whole point is I don't want to be a part of it. Cut yourself loose. Cut him loose, Adam.
Careful, hey,
Kevin, why are you leaving?
Cut you.
Not sure I heard the first 15 times. Well, look, Zenhauser keeps pulling me back in, baby. I got to give him a reason to let me go.
I think it's a big mistake. I think that you have a great home here. I think people love you here. Shuli's a generous, wonderful boss. If you want to call him a boss, this is one of those guys where he has a YouTube
proves
channel.
My whole point.
Yeah,
and he lets us fuck around on his YouTube channel. It's great.
Getting more views
proves
about
the point right here.
The actual show tells a lot.
100%. 100%. I'm talking about the storyline. The show is now getting good views and everything's happening. And to be honest, I don't want to put any more effort in to make the show better. So here we are. Kevin, we hear you. Just like everyone, you are friends with everyone involved. You don't want to take a side in this, but stay friends with everyone. It's unfair. I know I'm in the same kind of boat. Yes, it's called sinking, Chris. It's called the
Chris,
Titanic.
You fat fuck. You're sinking the boat because you're in it. You fat
I'm
piece of shit.
going to put up a comment that no one's ever said or written down. Listen to Zen, dude. All right. So that's how far we've fallen.
You want to know how to be successful in this business? You talk to me.
Yeah, you save all the money you don't spend on child support, and then you pay your bills.
Exactly.
You know what's crazy? What we're doing right now, going around the horn, busting each other's balls. This is the thing I love the most about hanging out with Gino back in the day. Is there was nobody better to sit in the back and bust balls with than Gino. And it bums me out that we've it's different now. It's just different now. I don't hate him. I got no beef with him. I'm just bummed to see him so wrapped up in all this shit.
See, here's the thing though, is when
it's changed him.
When you're a step out, you're not involved with this. And he's still that dude. When he stays at my house for a weekend because he got evicted from his apartment, when he stays at my house for a weekend and he's around my kid and my wife, we all used to live together. It's the same thing. You get that ball busty thing. The only way to get away from this fucking toxic circle is to take a step out of it. You can't live in it.
We found your super fan, by the way. I had no idea you were
still showed up. Look,
I'm gonna one.
Wait, the guy who makes fun of me for supposedly living in my mom's basement just got evicted from his apartment. That's
no, I'm
all
just
right.
joking.
No, you're not. That's a fact. And and Gino, I'd like to say you can always stay with me in my apartment. Gino, go ahead. You hang out with me.
I'll be staying with you when I come out next month.
You know what? You're always fun to cuddle with. I love having you here.
Gino, slumber party.
Should we do like a bowling night with you two versus us two?
We put Gino's hand in a bowl of hot whiskey while he's sleeping and wait for him to
we watch his liver piss itself.
I have a feeling his hand will already be in a glass of hot whiskey. Nothing. Just set it up. Done.
Bartender, whiskey, lukewarm. Thank you.
I'll be quitting for the next month, so don't worry about that. So keep those chats coming because I gotta pay off this Shuli debt somehow.
Take off a month and then come back. Just take off a month.
Well, I got bookings through the next month. I got Jim Florentine and Don Jameson are coming. We're working on Don Herrera and Jamie Kennedy.
Once they hear this, they're out of the Dombrowski business.
This is just going to be, let's just be honest, guys. It's just going to be the three of us doing Fridays at 2 for the next month. That's really what it's going to be.
That's it. I'm not even going to listen. Like, I'm just going to get a call every Friday at 1:30 in the afternoon. Hey, bro, you're busy?
Right.
You want to come on the show? Yeah, of course I will. For you, Kevin, I love you. Listen, just because you're associated with I don't even like mentioning his name, honestly, because I don't want to bring that negative energy into the show. It's got nothing to do with me and you. I love you, buddy. I think you're a funny guy. I'll do a show with you anytime you want. So if you want to come up with a new show where I'm a part of it or whatever, you want to have me on, I'll be more than welcome to.
I think not only are you trying to keep me, you're also pitching shows that I have to come up with for us.
Well, actually, it's funny you say that. Now, picture this.
Kevin's like, he's like those movies where the guy was like thought out of the block, like Encino Man. He doesn't understand what a friend is. You're saying these things to him, and he's like, "What are you talking? Are you supporting me? Like, what is this?"
Why aren't you tweeting about me, telling me to fuck off for no reason?
Right.
You're not screaming about me.
He calls me a hack because he loves me.
We'll see over the next month. But as of now, I've got a foot out and some bookings left. So we should have some fun. Any closing thoughts with you guys before? I feel like we should do a couple of stories at least to chase the viewers out.
You know, I say, why stick to the format now? I mean, it hasn't worked up until this point. So.
It's not.
Have you thought about fake news stories? Maybe
You're the only program director that I know that's been on a show that loves it, brings it over to the network, and goes, "This is just not working."
We're gonna have a staff meeting in 5 minutes, guys.
Right.
All right, the structure's not right. Could you think about bringing a monkey in? I don't know.
Key Value wants you to do the form. He wants you to. I didn't read last week's news yet. He wants you to read.
There are a couple stories that do get left behind. I'll give you. You got a good point on that. We've got a new one from 2018. Man on a flight yells at a baby. Actually, this one is great. Did you guys see this?
I did see it. I did see it, and I mean, this is my favorite. When somebody's so mad that when you say something that's so logical and makes such total sense, and they're so furious that they don't even realize what you said. This is all about this kid, this baby crying on the flight, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And,
there's
well, I just want to say my favorite part of this is when the guy is screaming and somebody goes, "You can't be screaming on the plane," and he goes, "Did you tell that shit to that motherfucker?" Talking about the baby. Calling him, he goes, "Did you tell the baby it's not allowed to scream on a plane?" And I'm like, fantastic. That guy's lost it.
This is what's so great about it. Anyone that's ever paid extra for a flight or had their wife pay extra for a leg room on a flight, when does the show start, Kevin?
We're about an hour and 7 minutes ago.
I just got here. I didn't know. If you've ever paid for extra legroom, anything in that area that disrupts the extra money you've paid from the people that did not shell out extra money will drive you insane. I got mad. This is a real story. I got mad at a guy in a flight that sat next to me. I paid for economy, extra legroom. The guy sat down next to me with a fake leg, and he took the fake leg off, and the remainder of his real leg rubbed against my full leg. I looked down. It still didn't bother me. What bothered me was when I looked down, I saw what direction the remainder of his leg was pointed in. And if you followed it all the way down, it would have been in my leg room. That pissed me off to no extent. I know the guy doesn't have a foot, but if he did, it would be in the room that I paid extra for.
Right.
I love the thought of Kevin going, "Can you move your nub, sir? Thank you." Or going, "Hey, can you move your phantom leg over so I can get all the leg room that you're not taking?" By the way, we're just gonna allow people with one leg or no legs to sit an extra leg. Like, what's next? Asians signing up for karate? I mean, are we nuts?
I looked at the leg and I said, "Excuse me, I've got to go to the bathroom." I said, "Can you move this? Would you mind if I just got over this real quick?"
You were like, "Hey, listen. By the way, that smells lovely. Can you
What is that,
like,
napalm?
yeah. What is that? Like a fresh cast, fresh and an old cast smell?
He pops the leg off, and you go, "Well, I guess you do sweat down there still."
Why do I want to say "love me long time" every time you take your leg off?
I don't think you would have. I don't think he would have done that if he had a full leg. I think he was well aware of. He was very self-aware of his own space.
I would like to think so.
He thought that would creep you out enough, just putting his little nub on your leg,
Right,
and letting it rub up against you.
Like,
now,
I know people talk about like all the looting and like stealing out of stores right now, and like, you know, every weekend in Chicago 8 million people die, and it's like everybody's talking about society, you know, is awful right now. And let me tell you something, none of that shit bothers me like people on airplanes, Bob.
Such a comic.
The dude, the worst in me comes.
all they talk about is hacky material.
I just people watch, and I wish the worst things on these people based on the littlest thing. How many times do you need to spin your fucking suitcase before you figured out how it fits in the goddamn over it? It's not fucking algebra, dude. This woman plane touches the gate, boom, like that. She's up out of her seat, jumps out of her seat. It's got to be the first one up to open the overhead, to sit there for 20 fucking minutes and not go anywhere. And then I come off the plane, and guess where she is? In a wheelchair. Guess can't walk all of a sudden, right? That piece of shit who needed to be the first one off the fucking flight. I hate people on flight.
You could tell just by being on an airplane with somebody, you can tell like that's like a symbol for their whole lifestyle, like on how they are as a person.
100%.
And don't get me started on those goddamn peanuts. Am I right?
You know, I had a guy turn like 3 rows up, like 2-3 rows up. He turned to us behind him and goes, "Guys, I'm allergic to peanuts, so if you can not order the
peanuts."
And my first thought in my head is, I go, I would rather have to go door to door and tell strangers that I am a sex offender than have to turn around and tell other grown adults peanuts give me a hurdy, an ouchie. Don't eat them around me.
It would have been received better too.
Yeah,
that guy. But it's like going to a circus and going, guys, I hope there's no peanuts and Cracker Jacks here.
Yeah. Guys, just so you know, I'm allergic to crying babies on this flight.
Yeah.
If you could just not have your baby cry. So
Right.
this is basically what this guy did. Was there was a crying baby. This guy fucking snapped. And they go, "You can't yell on a flight." And he looks at the baby and goes, "Did you tell this motherfucker that? Did this motherfucker?" Yeah, he goes, "Did this motherfucker pay extra?"
No, this motherfucker doesn't have teeth yet. It can't eat or take care of itself.
I was on another radio show before this. I don't know if you heard of it. It's called Real Ass Podcast with Louis J. Gomez.
Sorry, I had to bleep that out. We don't do any promotion.
It's a real network. And
how do you guys go to a YouTube channel? How does that happen?
It was a real story, and my explanation for it is that, well, he's a black guy, he doesn't know what a kid sounds like. So, but that's just me. Yeah, but that's great. I mean, I love that he was like he was Def Comedy jamming the baby, and the baby's parents were like, "Oh shit!"
Did you quote yourself on Real Ass Podcast? So someone goes, "There's another fat bald white guy on another podcast that just said that different joke."
Yeah.
Shuli on a plane wishes everyone else would be the victim of a horrific roof ripped off, decompression, getting sucked out at 20,000 feet, and he lands alone on the roof. Buddy, you ain't kidding, Chris. That is, if a genie popped out, that'd be my wish, buddy. 100%.
There was another Stokely again, $5. I'd probably be happier flying cargo than flying coach. That's true. You'd have more room to lay down. You'd have all the leg room for all the fake legs that you have. That would be maybe that guy paid for extra leg room just to be able to stand it up somewhere.
You know, when I used to push wheelchairs at the Vegas airport, when there's so many fat people. Not you, Anthony. You're one of the good ones. There's so many fat people that you very rarely push an actual handicapped person, right? And so when you do have one, you have to bring an aisle chair, which is a really thin wheelchair that you put them in because it fits in the aisle of the plane. Mm-hmm. And when you put somebody in that's legit handicapped, there's a seat belt for like their chest area, waist, but then there's a seat belt for their legs. You got to put it over the top of their knees, right? And strap them in because sometimes they fucking go wonky and shit. You know what I mean? They got a mind of their own, these legs. So
that was the first time a handicapped person was actually pushing the wheelchair.
Right. So,
by the way, Shuli, I'm in a wheelchair these days. So when you come sleep with me in my apartment, you have to just bring me up a flight of steps. It's not a big deal. It's only like 5 steps.
You ain't been pushed till you've been pushed by the best.
You know, right? When you sleep with me, sure. In the apartment.
Again? Sure.
I like to imagine him pulling your legs over his shoulder like a blanket when he goes to sleep.
I just put him over his shoulder.
He just cuts me open and sleeps in my stomach.
So yeah, he's my little tauntaun, I call him. So this guy, you have to physically pick them up and put them in this aisle chair. And so I put him in, and I go to strap up, to put the seatbelt on his legs. and I clip it, and then I tighten it. And when I tighten it, he goes, ah, and I go, oh my God, are you okay? He goes, I'm just kidding. I can't feel it. And I'm like, that's the type of handicapped guy I would be.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. The ones that can communicate with you.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd be like, honey, your fork's in here again.
But that's the kind of guy that's funny. You know what I mean? Like that's he's comfortable with the fact that he can't walk. You know, so what are you gonna do? You're gonna make jokes about it. You take tragedy and you make it into funny. That's what it's great. It's what we're doing. Like, we're trying to explain to you. Take the tragedy that's going on around you, Kevin, and just make funny out of it. All right. So maybe you spend 10 minutes on your show addressing shit, and then you get another fucking 50 minutes to do your stupid news stories. Is that enough? 10 minutes. All it takes is 10 minutes.
Yeah, and handicapped people have a really good sense of humor. Believe it or not.
Really funny, dude.
Yeah.
Really great.
I wish we had more handicapped people in our audience, to be honest.
We do. I had a black guy that I picked up once in an aisle chair.
Well, he can't help being black.
No, it gets better. And I put him in the aisle chair, and I go, "What happened? Snowboarding?" And he laughed so hard. And I'm just trying to lighten the mood. And then by the time we get to baggage claim, I go, "So what happened?" He goes, "I got shot." And I was like, "Okay, all right, you know." Got there in a much more fun way.
Did you mark that off in your statistic clipboard of the ways that they get handicapped?
Did I ever tell you? Because I was doing stand up, right? And anytime a comic was in the airport, they would let me know on the radio, right? Because I would go and talk to them and meet them, and I was a fan of everybody. So I hear one of the people in the office goes, "You need to pick up somebody off this airline. I think it was a Hawaiian airline or whatever." And I'm waiting in the jetway, and I'm standing there in my little vest. I'm standing behind the wheelchair, and the first person coming off the plane is Dom Irrera, legendary comedian. Love Dom Irrera.
He's going to no-show the third week in May, by the way.
Yeah, tune in, guys, to not see Dom Irrera. And so I see him, and my eyes light up, and I go, "Oh my God, you're Dom Irrera." I go, "Hey, Dom, I'm an aspiring comic." And he does this. He just, the camera is, he goes up, down, looks up at me again, and goes, "Of course you are." I always thought that was such a fucking great line.
That's funny too. Dom Irrera was the first comic I saw live at the Stress Factory, which is connected to Vinnie Brand. So it works out for the show. It was the first show I saw.
Yeah,
he was
it
was magic, man. He was unbelievable. Just an hour and 20 minutes of just murdering. It's unbelievable.
Shuli already said 50 times you can go, and this motherfucker keeps begging him. Shuli, you're gonna let that happen?
There's another guy that's taking to insulting babies. This is the best. It's the next story up, guys. This guy is standing outside of a Walmart telling people that their babies are ugly, and that's what he spends his day doing.
Oh, I thought Bob was doing more productive stuff. But
well, look, when you don't have a pool, your days are free.
Yeah, he's angry. He's got to let that anger out somewhere. I get it.
Is that baby like cum on its face?
Anyone like being fingered? Anyone like being fingered?
That baby eat ass or what? Everybody loves to eat ass. Am I right, baby?
Right, baby.
He's just a greeter at this point.
Yeah. Dom Irrera is a good guest. Yeah, I'm funny enough, I'm talking to some people, Dom Irrera's people. He might be jumping on the network here. He's already doing a podcast, and they want to get into video. So I told him once we get rid of Kevin, once we get through May. No, okay.
Is that why is he starting the third week of May? Is that my last show? He's starting his?
No, it's whenever your last show is. It's not third week of May. Nothing's set in stone.
Hey, your baby has no teeth. That's pretty hot. Probably good at sucking dick, baby.
Look at a great Dom Irrera. I wish I was gay just for the coming out part.
Did you this is straight from fucking your history, Shuli. One of the greatest episodes of Stern ever. One of the greatest storylines. High Pitch Mike went to Disney, and his trip overlapped with Gay Week. Disney has announced that Pride Night is coming. Pride Night after hours. After DeSantis has warned, I guess, against Disney getting involved. Joe, can you pull that story up?
Dude, can you imagine
Just 1 second here.
the cleanup crew that's going to be sweeping up, fucking poppers and rubbers and fucking all these.
I picture Levy smoking a cigarette doing that too.
Yeah.
I noticed you got no teeth. That's hot. Yes. So hours after DeSantis warning for Disney not to question his authority in terms of all the rules and laws that he's enforcing in Florida, Disney announces an after hours Pride Night, which, if you are a fan of Stern, I don't know. Oh my God, that's got to be a top 5 episode for me when Artie keeps calling High Pitch Mike gay and telling him to come out. And High Pitch Mike says that he considers himself a loner, much like Howard Stern. And watching Artie laugh at High Pitch Mike compare himself to Howard Stern, much like the viewers early in the episode laugh when you compared yourself to Howard Stern.
I do every time. I do every time. But what's funny is later down the road, High Pitch Mike takes a lie detector test on the show, and they ask him if he's gay, and he says no. And then in the break, I go smoke a cigarette downstairs, and he comes with me. And Mike didn't smoke; he wasn't a smoker. And I'm like, why is Mike coming with me? And as soon as the elevator doors closed, it was just me and him. And he just turns to me, and goes, "I'm gay," like that. And I went, "That's cool, man. I got no problem." He goes, "I haven't told my parents." He's like, "This is how they're gonna find out." And for the first time ever, I was like, "Fuck, this has got to be terrifying for somebody." Like I never really put it in perspective because I don't like him. No, I'd never been in that situation where I knew somebody that had to go through that, and I just remember telling him like, "Hey, man, it's all good. Like, if they don't fucking love you or they turn your back on you, then that's a gift. Then you don't need to fucking worry about them ever again."
I didn't know I was going to do this on your show, Kevin, but I just want to tell everybody
for the last
it's
one.
official. I'm gay.
I thought you were going to say you're thin. I was going to say stop.
Listen, guys, I realized that I'm a little chubby, and I'm ready to go on my journey.
I would have loved for those elevator doors to close and Mike to turn to you and go, "Just admit it, you're gay."
Hey
I
guys,
didn't even get the chance. He's but what makes it crazy is like that whole Disney thing. Artie's sitting there, and this was back in the day where gay was not the word that was used a lot on the air. And he's railing into him about him being there on gay day, and he happened to be wearing a red shirt at Disney, which was the uniform of everyone that was there for gay day was red.
They said Artie goes, "Tell me you were there during gay day and I'll have a fucking heart attack." And Robin said he's the keynote speaker.
Love it.
And if you want to hear what word they use on the Stern Show, just tune into In Hot Water every week on Compound Media, and you can hear it.
There you go.
We recreate those scenes. Let's end with this story here because we are the shit in the middle of this Boston Marathon. That's what this show is. A runner got caught taking a shit on someone's yard in the middle of the Boston Marathon. And a picture was taken and it was uploaded to the internet. And that's got to be the second biggest tragedy that's happened during that marathon. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, but where are they supposed to? What, are you supposed to shit his shorts like an animal?
Yeah, just quote George Carlin as you're doing it.
That's so fucking funny. Can you imagine? Honey, there's another runner shitting on the lawn.
How fast do you think he takes a shit?
I imagine it's liquid at this point. I imagine it's just the grippers are shot and everything's falling out.
Zen, you're a runner. What do you think?
Well, speaking from experience, speaking from shitting on people's lawns, I think the guy was mad because it's Boston, right? So, I mean, he was mad to find something brown hanging out on his lawn. What are you doing over there? Get off my lawn. Those guys shit their pants when they're running. You ever seen like the end of a marathon? People have fecal matter dripping down their legs because they lose control of their bowels after running for 24 miles.
Yeah, I believe they call that the runner's high when you.
That's a real reason I don't work out. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
So I think this guy was like, I don't want to be that guy running down to the finish line with shit in my socks. I think I'll just try to take a quick dump. And you know, I wonder. I mean, and I'm going to say, I'm sure that guy is fun on a plane.
Yeah,
You're about to sit next to him.
Hey, I respect the quick shits. I'm a quick shitter. I'm not.
Me
I'm
too.
not,
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm okay.
In case the Germans show up.
Yeah.
Aren't you? Do they train you to shit quick in the Israeli army?
Hey, that's right. You're always on call. You never know when you have to stop shitting and run to a shelter. You know what I mean?
We're like a tax shelter. Am I right?
I shit too long for marathons. That actually, honestly, I take marathon shits, so I don't see myself being able to do that.
Yeah. No, once you have kids, the shits get longer. Don't get me wrong. It's the only it's the panic room in the house where you're safe is that shitter. But plus, I don't want to be around that. I might shit for that long. Like, it's fucking like, get me out of here. I don't. Farts one thing. I love my farts, but shit, I got, this is where our relationship ends once you come out.
That's fair. Is that how you avoid the child support, Zen? Is you just stay in the bathroom?
Nobody there. Yeah. Nobody home. Sorry, man.
I stay. When I'm in my mom's basement. I have. By the way, ladies, I have my own bathroom in my mom's basement. In case you were wondering, we have our own door. You can come in the garage.
Make all the jokes you want, but until you're sandwiched between Zen and his mommy, you haven't had a great night's sleep. That I will say from experience. Thank you.
Yeah, my mom always goes to Shuli. She goes, "Can you pretend you're a black guy?" I don't know why.
I start rapping and dancing, and
then she sees his huge cock, and she's like, "Oh, you are." God damn.
Yeah. She goes, "Get in the wheelchair. Let me push you to your wing."
Touch my phantom.
That's
pussy.
Gonna be my touch my phantom pussy. That's gonna be my rehab, Zen. I'm gonna come stay in the basement with you.
Hang out with
rehab.
me.
I'm gonna rehab.
That's great. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. I mean, whatever keeps you going, dude. We love having you here, and despite whatever Bob says, I'm not on board with that. You're funny.
I think we all speak for everyone but Bob and Kevin and a few people in this chat. All right, pretty much everybody in this chat. When we say we love you,
and Bob's just really mad at Gino.
I know
that's what it is. He's not mad at you. He loves you. He's mad at because Gino doesn't want to be anybody's friend.
Listen, I don't know that he loves Kevin, but I know he doesn't have a problem with Kevin.
Right. Okay. So love's a strong word, man.
Yeah, Kevin's never done anything, but Kevin respects Bob. He knows and appreciates the legend that is Bob, and like we all do. But Anthony's 100% right. This is my point. It's like if it's gonna come to this, where this guy is in your head, and it's now. You're now at this level of anger, then address the source. Going after people who are not wronging you is silly to me.
Well, yeah. And look, and that kind of that wraps it up into a bow. That kind of speaks to it. It's just like I don't want to have to deal with this. And I know you're saying you don't have to, but you kind of do. Washman, $5. Kev, please do another show. At least you don't have to give a percentage to someone else.
You. All right. We get it.
God bless you. Yeah, look, there's another month of shows coming up. So here's what I'm going to say to you guys. There's another month of shows that are booked. I would like to go out with a bang, but if you want to keep me, look, send in those super chats and tell me you want me to stay, and tell me that you want Shuli to send me, a big percentage of that. And
if you don't want Kevin to stay, then send the money to his Venmo as a parting tip.
Oh, wait a second. All of a sudden, now you're going to stay if you get super chat money? That's how it works.
Whoa. Get out of here. Nobody wants
let's cut about an hour and 25 minutes of this podcast, and let's just get to the real fucking deal, dude.
Yeah, that's right. Big Bang Hank over here. He's like,
well, if you give me more money, maybe I'll stay.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Jackie approach.
That's right. And we'll just turn Kevin's light down so you can't see him during his show.
It'll be like Back to the Future. I'll just start disappearing from the network in and out. Misdemeanor $13.99. We don't care if you stay.
Man, you know what? What a better way to wrap this up. I mean, on that note, really,
That's great. Yeah, good times, guys. We had a good time.
Absolutely. Listen, guys, thanks for being on. I appreciate you being here. Shuli, whatever happened to Jason Kaplan's giant bag of baby cloths?
It was multiple bags. It was Doug Goodstein, and I brought him all back when he cried like a cunt about my kid not being shown in pictures in the baby clothes he gave us. And so
Who does that? Who gives people fucking clothes?
Did this
Secondhand
motherfucker pay
baby
for them?
clothes?
Did this motherfucker pay for them?
That was the whole thing. And my wife told me from the start, don't say, I go, Doug offered, she goes, don't. I go, I know, but I have a hard time saying no. So I go, sure. I drive to Long Island. My wife's like almost 9 months pregnant at this point. He hands me bag after like hefty bags, just bag. I bring it home. You know, we have the kid. And I guess his wife was like searching our Facebook and didn't see our kid in any of the clothes because it was summer and they gave us winter clothes. So I don't know what you want me to put a parka on my kid when it's fucking And then I go back to work and Doug says to me one day, he goes, we have a friend that's being induced. So if you're not using any of those clothes, if we can get them back. And I'm like, oh yeah, sure. And again, first kid, I don't know anything about etiquette with kids. I go to Gary's office, to Bowie, and I'm like, I go, hey, I go, let me ask you a question. I said, Doug offered these baby clothes, but now he's saying he needs them back for another thing. I go, is that normal? And he goes, I've never heard. And I see him grab this little Post-it note and just start writing on it. And I'll never, when you know you're on to something, Gary just goes, stay close. He says, he goes, stay close. And it was in the break. And he went in and told Howard this. And as soon as Howard got back on the air, he's like, he goes, you're not going to believe what I just heard. And so
we should do that. That should be a show. You're not going to believe what I just heard.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, it was just, once I knew I was in the right, once I knew Howard had my back and Gary had my back, it was on. I was like,
that's great. Good radio.
And then the next day I wheeled in on a dolly into the studio, all the clothes, and I fucking was throwing them. I go, yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, Shuli makes a good point, like, about what's going, like, the drama that happens and stuff internally at a network. You know, like, we have our own, because we're growing as a community here. We're the inside jokes are starting to come. Like, people are starting to, laugh at the stuff that just happens on this network and not between different networks and stuff like that. So, there is room for that kind of, see. But I mean, like, just the jokes that are happening between Ray and
yeah, it doesn't need to be malicious. It doesn't need to be malicious. It doesn't need to be, I'm not saying you got. I'm not saying you got to promote and suck everybody's asshole, but you don't have to go out of your way to say this person's a piece of shit and this person sucks and this person. It's like, let the audience figure that out. If that's who they are, that's who they are. That's not gonna. There's no on and off switch for being a piece of shit. That's who you are 24/7. So
sure,
if people can't figure that out or they want to gravitate towards somebody who's like that, adios.
Yeah, and look, that's the thing is, like, if you want to do that, fine. Who gives a fuck if you do that? I don't personally care if you do that. Say whatever the fuck you want. I'm fine with it all. Don't think this is about me not taking. I don't give a shit. I've taken it for fucking months being in it. I don't want to be around it anymore. That's my issue. So for now, we're saying that, but come back next week for the last show, and we'll say, and then the week after, and we'll see what happens there. Did I miss Freddie DeVito exit interview, or is that on later? I'm gonna let the boss man handle this one.
Rock bottom exit interview next week.
Every podcast he does is an exit interview.
Well, thank you, boys, for being on. I am on the road this weekend at the Fat Cats Comedy Club in Utica, New York. Come on out. This Love Fest isn't prepping me for KB's toxicity on MLC. Cut me loose.
Give them our
you can check that out. Go to fatcatscomedyclub.com for that. I have more dates coming up. On the road next month, and I'm back in the city. Come back next week for the final countdown here of Just Joking. We've got, hopefully, Vinnie Brand, once they peel him off of that PA field, with the great Mike Buschetti until he calls out last minute. And then you'll probably see these two at some point. What do you got coming up, Zen?
Oh, yeah. So next Wednesday, I'm going to be doing the spit roast at the stand.
That looks like a fun show, by the way.
It does.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on the details. I think it starts at like 8:00, but it's a 3-round show where they give you a topic and you just roast it. It's not really between you and the other comic. It's more like what's going on. You guys kind of like co-roast some whatever, whether it's a Chinese weather balloon or Gino Bisconti or whatever the topic is.
Something inanimate.
Something
Both
inanimate, yeah.
hot air, am I right? Hey!
That one's better. You were right. You were right.
And always, of course, Pottstown, PA. I'm going to be there May 13th. I'm going to be giving moral support and transport to Shuli Egger, and just having a good time with my friends. I hope to see Kevin there. I hope to see Anthony there. I hope to see everybody there. We're going to squash some beefs. It's going to be a great time.
I told Zen by the time we get to Pottstown, you may end up needing to do 40 minutes up there.
I know, right? Yeah, everyone keeps jumping ship.
Yeah.
Is this Pottstown? Is this a comedy show or is this Kevin Dombrowski's podcast? Am I right?
Hey,
keep jumping ship.
I can go to the Shutdown Friars Club for a roast like this.
Laugh It Up in Poughkeepsie every week, and it's a great show. LaughItUpComedy.com. You get to see guys like Kevin there, and then you get to see Mark Norman, you get to see Shuli, you get to see all your favorite comics. Always a good time. Come on up to Poughkeepsie.
Yeah, good room. Good. Love the dudes run it. They're good people.
Yeah, Cal. It's only Cal now. Cal runs it.
Cal now. Okay. Well,
Just
good.
Cal's
killing it. He's the one I liked, anyways. Anyways, listen, thank you guys for tuning in. Kevin, I love you, buddy. Whatever you decide, you let me know. We'll always be pals.
Absolutely.
Nobody's gonna change that. I don't care who they're fucking mad at. I love you guys, man. Tune in. Listen, what is this? Zombie. You were saying you interview KC. That's what you said. If you go now, you're subscribed to the channel. You go to the Uncle Rico. I think it's in the live section. We did an Uncle Rico with KC, I think a month ago or something. But he's supposedly on the bill for Pottstown. So hopefully he will be there. I don't know. But he said yes when I asked him, and I haven't heard from him since. So we'll do our best. I thank you guys. Shalom Shuli, Twitter, Instagram. And if you want to come to Pottstown, theshulinetwork.com. You'll get your tickets there. $25 gets you in the door. 40 gets you to press palms and kiss babies. VIP meet and greet. Perry Caravello, Anthony Cumia, of course, Mike Morse, Bob Levy, myself, Mr. Zenhauser, Mr. Dixon, Chris Tidwell from the Godfathers of Podcasting just confirmed he will be down there. And a bunch of us are hanging, having a good time. Vince the Attorney. We're going to do a live Uncle Rico and as well as a comedy show. So come check it out. Come join us. Love you, Kev. Thanks for having me.
You too, boys.
And Anthony, you're adequate.
Hey, buddy. It's good to be here. Thank you very much for having me, Kevin. I really love it. Shuli, unbelievable Jew.
Oh, Phony Hawk will be there as well. Yeah. Will cable. Yes.
And come back next week for another episode of Just Joking for Now on the Shuli Network, presented by SilkCityHotSauce.com. No interviews, no arguments. I gotta piss.